Hi everyone. We decided to do vitamin D deficiency awareness among BYU Idaho students. We wanted to find out mainly if there was a difference in health majors and non-health majors and their knowledge about vitamin D deficiency, as well as the risk factors and effects that come from vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D, it promotes bone health and increases the calcium absorption from your intestinal tract. The biggest way to get vitamin D is obviously through sunlight. 50 to 90% of our vitamin D comes from exposure to sunlight to our skin, and then the rest comes from the food that we have. Many people have a vitamin D or potentially could have a vitamin D deficiency and they just don't know. But some of the risk factors that come with a vitamin D deficiency are it can be associated with depression, rickets, and a lot of other bone type of diseases. It has also been linked to heart disease and cancers that are namely colon, prostate, and breast cancer. When we created our survey, we used Qualtrics and we just came up with some questions based off of another research survey that we found online. We just wanted to know if people knew about vitamin D, if they knew about vitamin D deficiency, if they knew about the importance of vitamin D and like the different risk factors that come with low levels of vitamin D. And we got BYU-I emails from BYU Idaho. So we sent it out to 300 people. We got 84 surveys back, which was a 28% return rate, and that we had to eliminate less than 3% of the data just because of incompletion of surveys. As you can see on our charts, this is kind of what we got back. The responses between non-health majors and health majors is in the blue and orange charts as well as the box graph. When we got our results back, we realized that we accidentally used our old survey questions. That was our first draft that we used, and we had revised them according to what our supervisor told us that we needed to make changes to, and we accidentally still used the old survey. So in our old survey, we didn't have any demographic questions such as gender, age group, and marital status. So we weren't able to get any of that information from our surveys, but we were able to get the student's major, which was kind of the most important part, but it would have been really great to have the extra information. And so that put some limitations onto our research. In our revised surveys, we also had I don't know as one of the multiple choices answers. This was important because if we would have had the I don't know, then if people didn't know, they could put that. But instead, in our first draft of questions, they just had to choose one or the other. And so they could have guessed and gotten lucky and gotten it right, or they could have gotten it wrong. But that just added to our results in a false way if that was the case that we did not know. Another limitation was obviously that all of our participants were college students. We didn't have anyone that were not college students and that were not going to BYU Idaho, so this could have set some limitations as well. And one other thing that we thought about was all of our participants also knew what vitamin D was, and so we thought that either everyone could have known what vitamin D was, or if people opened the email and saw that the survey was about vitamin D and they were knowledgeable about it, that they decided to take it because they knew that they could answer the questions, and this could have created some kind of bias in our results. In conclusion, when we used a chi-square with a p-value 0.15, considering the hypothesis of health majors being more aware of vitamin D deficiency than non-health majors, that suggested that 85% were confident this hypothesis was true. So we found that 85% found that health majors were more aware of vitamin D deficiency than non-health majors, which is kind of what we were thinking we would find. There's obviously more research that we could have done, and it would have been great to have our revised survey sent out, but that wasn't the case. And from what we were able to gather from our first draft, this is what we found. All right, guys, thank you.